Yo, top of the morning, Raider Nation, man. I mean, hey, I woke up to some good news this morning, man. I didn't think it was going to be done already, but the Raiders brought in their new veteran quarterback that we all been basically waiting for. And this comes a day after Fernando Mendoza's pro day, which tells you a little bit of something. But before we get into everything and before we talk about breaking news today, man, I want to give a shout out to the chat. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's joined the live stream. If you guys haven't already, man, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if this is the very first time you guys are coming across this channel, baby. Now, today's live stream is sponsored by PrizePicks, but a little bit more on that later. But Raider Nation, man, we finally got our mentor for Fernando Mendoza, and it is Kirk Cousins. Breaking news came out a couple hours ago, man. It came out really early this morning. I didn't expect the Raiders to sign somebody so early. I woke up at like 8 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and I was looking at my phone. I was like, yo, what? And I was like, okay, they working really early. They definitely working really early, but man, I love news, man. And it definitely is some huge news coming into today, but let's bring it up right now. As it sits, according to Adam Schefter, the Raiders are signing Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins will sign a 5-year, $172 million deal with the Raiders that in reality is a 1-year fully guaranteed $20 million deal that also contains a club option for 2 years at $80 million. The Falcons will pay Cousins $8.7 million this season. The Raiders another $1.3 million, and Las Vegas also agreed to pay its new quarterback a fully guaranteed $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 new league year. And maybe most notably, it also sets another new mark. This will be the 11th straight NFL season that Kirk Cousins' contract will be fully guaranteed. Now, I know looking at all the numbers, Raider Nation, that it sounds crazy, right? Like, oh, damn, the Raiders overpaid for him, or damn, this dude is getting paid. But one thing for sure, I will say that Kirk Cousins, his agent, he doing wonders for Kirk Cousins for what his career has been. I got to give a huge applaud to Kirk Cousins' agent because he's killing it. But ideally for the Raiders, this is a steal. The Raiders are basically paying nothing for a solid starting quarterback, a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins. It's ideally a 1-year deal worth $11.3 million, $20 million total with Atlanta. Now, $8.7 million, let's see. It's essentially a deal where the Raiders have Kirk Cousins for 2026 and only 2026. If he's tradable after the year, then he moves to another team with a decent starting contract. If not, he's released with limited dead money as none of the 280 is guaranteed. So, I mean, great job by the Raiders, putting a contract together that, is good for the Raiders in the future and also good for Kirk Cousins in the future as well. Not only that, of course, we know that Clint Kubiak and Kirk Cousins, they both worked together back in Minnesota for 3 seasons. So it only makes sense that Kirk Cousins was at the top of the list, especially when he was released by the Atlanta Falcons. And he's been a name that I think that we all been looking at. And I've been looking at for sure. I knew that he was going to be a guy that would possibly come, but I didn't know if it was going to come to fruition or not. And we heard from Clint Kubiak at the league meeting that in a perfect world, you wouldn't start your rookie quarterback. And this is the notion. This is the same sentiment that, John Spytek talked about. This is the same sentiment that Clint Kubiak has talked about. The same sentiment that Tom Brady has talked about many times. It's not ideal to throw in a rookie quarterback to the Wolves in his first year. The only way I see Fernando Mendoza at least starting in year 1 is if he's ready to go. If he has everything down pat. This doesn't mean that Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter, but this gives the Raiders more of a leeway to make Kirk Cousins the starter in year 1. Which I'm totally fine with. And I know that spending a first overall pick on a quarterback that's not going to start in year 1 might not sound like the sexy move for the Raiders moving forward, but I think it's the smartest move for the Raiders, right? Because the Raiders could give Fernando Mendoza some time and he doesn't have to rush things. And I think that this would be a pretty cool battle between Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins. But I know for a fact that locker room is going to be really interesting to watch with these two guys in there. And I think that Kirk Cousins is the perfect mentor for Fernando Mendoza. And funny thing, this is coming a day after Fernando Mendoza had his pro day And he had a dinner late last night with the Raiders. So I'm pretty sure that John Spivak, Clint Kubiak, they spoke to Fernando Mendoza on how he felt about having Kirk Cousins as a mentor. And I'm pretty sure that Fernando possibly gave him a blessing and said he's more than open to having Kirk Cousins in the building, which I think is good for this team. And Kirk Cousins simply tweeted out that, hey, I love the fact that he put out this tweet just saying the autumn win, because it's so subtle, but it's so much meaning behind it. So, I mean, great job by the Raiders. I think that this is a great move from this team. But, hey, shout out to the chat. I know the chat is out here pretty strong right now, man. We got who's up in the building right now? We got Darth Jader up in here. We got Adam. We got Snooze, Raider Rob up in the building, man. Adam, hey, you like that? Yeah, I like it, Oos. I definitely like it. We knock Andrew up in the building. Yes, sir. Ghostface Raider. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Let's go. Are we in here? Captain Kirk up in here. It's only a guaranteed 1 year. Only 1 year. Like I said, it's not a bad deal for only 1 year getting Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than AOC at this point. And maybe AOC could make a case in the offseason. But as it sits right now, I really love the Raiders' quarterback room. And it's a huge upgrade. And it's funny that I say that without Fernando on the roster, but we all know, Raider Nation. We all know that Fernando Mendoza is on his way. But Fernando Mendoza, Kirk Cousins, AOC, I don't think it could get any better than that. Snow says a 1 year 1 year for 20 is a solid deal. I was worried he'd get a bit more expensive, and this gives Fernando a solid voice to learn under a year. Yeah, exactly. And you know what's crazy? That 20 mil in the year, the Raiders are only paying 11 or $8.7 million this season. So that and the rest is coming from the Atlanta Falcons. He isn't getting 5 years, 172. It depends. I think it depends on what. Yeah, but that's what Adam Schefter put out there. But the other 2 years are optional for the Raiders. The Raiders could definitely make. They could definitely move some things around if they don't want to move forward with him. B says, hey, are we even drafting Fernando at this point? I just saw all the money they are giving Cousins, and it's multiple years. It's not a lot of years. Trust me. I think it's structured that way, but the Raiders could come out of that contract next season if they wanted to, especially before the new league year, if they didn't want to give him that bonus. Cheeto, hey, shout out to my Cheeto. He says that the Raiders not like what they saw. I think they love what they saw from Fernando yesterday. I think Fernando killed it yesterday. I mean, I know it's a pro day and everything's basically scripted, but I think the Raiders definitely love Fernando Mendoza. But we already know, like they've talked about it before. Getting Fernando and having a young quarterback, they wouldn't want to rush him, right? So that's why I do feel like the Raiders wanted to get a veteran quarterback, and I always think that I always thought that Kirk Cousins was at the top of that list alongside of Joe Flacco. So those are the two names that I think were going back and forth for the Raiders, but Joe Flacco but with Joe Flacco not coming back, or with Joe Flacco not signing with the Raiders, it only left basically Kirk Cousins and a lot of other scrubs as far as veteran quarterbacks at this point. But man, the thing about me is I love what the Raiders have been doing so far. Like literally, like throughout the whole offseason, they've been making the right moves this year. And I think a lot of Raider fans can agree with me when they say, like, the Raiders are winning the offseason. We already had a great free agency. Now you add Kirk Cousins to the fold, and maybe the Raiders still get another backup running back. I know everybody wants Najee Harris, but the way the Raiders have been running things right now, they're killing it. Okay, Ricardo says that it's only $1.3 million this year and $10 million next year. Okay, hey, I know for a fact that the money ain't that crazy. That's all I know. And the Raiders are basically paying damn near nothing. Cheeto says, yeah, Vaughn was trolling. Yeah, Von Miller yesterday was trolling when he said that he signed with the Raiders. Because if that were to happen, all the media outlets would have been posting it. But it only came out on his social media. So he ain't slick with it, but I thought it was pretty funny, though. Shout out to my ooze, Jerome, for the $2 holla. He says, big ups, Oos. Love your insights, brother. Man, I appreciate it, Oos. And I thank you for the $2 donation, Oos. Yeah, man, I just give my thoughts, Oos. They always, right? But today, like I said, I'm excited about this team and the moves that they made. Shout out to Binnery Burn for the $1.99. That's all they said. But, hey, appreciate it. I hope I said your name right and I didn't butcher it. But again, definitely appreciate it, man. Damn, man, my throat is dry. Shout out to Cheeto. Hey, Oos, he said no DC then. Nah, Oos. DC ain't coming to Las Vegas. Oos. We got our veteran quarterback, and I know DC posted something yesterday that he's gonna go. He's coming home. Well, he ain't coming home to Vegas. That's for sure. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, we got Kirk Chains up in the building. Hey, you know what's funny? I seen this picture, and bro, this is gonna be Kirk Cousins in Las Vegas right here. This is Kirk Cousins in Las Vegas right here. You like that? You like that? Yo, this be hilarious. Had this been him. Man, is it a plane ticket or Greyhound that the Raiders are giving? Yo, Allegiance, you crazy. I don't know, man. I think ALC's still on the roster, but we'll see. You know, I think ALC's still on the roster, but he ain't gonna get burned, bro. I don't think he's gonna get burned. He most likely gonna be playing, or he most likely could get burned in preseason. But outside of that, he's just gonna be a clip holder behind these two guys. But my boy Casanova says Spytech is getting better and better. This team is on their way. We on the way, but hey, we on the way, and I'm loving it. I definitely love what they've been doing so far. I mean, how can you not be excited as a Raider fan with what the Raiders have been doing? And we know we're gonna go into the NFL draft and bring in said Fernando Mendoza. And looking at what Fernando Mendoza did yesterday at the pro day, bro, like I don't know how you cannot love what we seen yesterday, right? Like looking at this, like I know, like I said, I understand that it's a pro day and everything's scripted, but he definitely silenced a lot of haters with you know, that deep ball and that accuracy as well. I know it wasn't perfect, but 53 out of 53 out of 56 passes like completed, I think it's huge. GM Walt is at the top of the third in his mock draft. Okay, I mean, let me know who you getting in your mock draft, Deuce. Yeah, Oos, we cooking. Up until they signed Cousins. Salute to you, Oos, and salute to the chat. Yeah, salute to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. I think the Raiders, but like I said, man, like I can't wait to have Fernando Mendoza in the building. Like Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins in the same building. Oh my goodness, I think that's perfect, Deuce. Definitely perfect. You really don't have to worry about any like, especially being in Las Vegas, Suze, like you don't really have to worry about a lot of things. Yeah. So yeah, I think now that the Raiders, yeah, I was just about to say that. Hey, that we need wide receivers, and we definitely do. I don't think that we need that many wide receivers, but I think one solid wide receiver, whether in the draft or we go out in free agency and bring in a veteran wide receiver, I think we'd be set. Because after hearing what Clint Kubiak had to say about, you know, Trey Tucker, I think goes to show how much he looks at him and views him as potentially a weapon that could be utilized all over the field. And we still got some young wide receivers, Jack Bech, Dante Thornton. I think in the right system and with the right quarterback throwing to them, especially with the protection that we should be having with the Tyler Linderbaum, who we just added in free agency, there's no reason why this offense should not be moving with the weapons we have right now. And I'm okay with the Raiders having a wide receiver by committee, right? But I want to add one target. Like I said, we could go in the draft. We could go get Elijah Sarratt. We could go get Omar. See, that's the thing. I don't think that the Raiders need to get a wide receiver like really early. But if they do, then there's names out there. Casey Concepcion. You know, like I said, or you trade up a little bit if you want, if you really want somebody. But you know, Elijah Sarratt's is gonna be there, right? There's gonna be other wide receivers in the draft that I'm really high on: Cyrus Allen, Antonio Williams. But you know, whoever the Raiders bring in, I trust them like really hard. Yeah, Raiders got. See, I was just saying that. What wide receivers would you bring in, bro? Like I just named them. Like in the draft, like of course, second round is what you're looking at. But the Raiders don't need to get one in the second round. They can still address other positions. But I think a wide receiver that I really would love for the Raiders to get, it would be like Antonio. Like Antonio Williams is in a sweet spot in the draft because you could get him in the third round, and he's somebody that could really be somebody. Like Jacoby Lane is another guy. Like somebody that's not fully there, but you know, Cyrus Allen has been one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft that you could get later in the draft. So, I mean, that's an option if the Raiders want to go in that direction. But I think that we should be pretty much set with the people that we got. But yeah, hey, I think. Well, let me see. Let me see. Like Oh, see. Okay, I seen this clip right here. Shout out to my boy House Rules. He posted this clip with Kirk Cousins and John Gruden. And if this doesn't get you excited, just showing how smart Kirk Cousins is, especially like this is what I'm imagining the locker room was gonna be with Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza just talking ball, bro. And you could tell how smart this dude is.
Here, if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
Just the fourth down play against Tampa. What was that?
Well, which one, man? We were
the one at the end of the game.
Yeah. Let me think about this. So that was a cover 2 adjustment.
It was just a hole shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, can I draw it?
Yeah, I'd like to have it in an autograph on that.
I'm trying to think
Kirk
here.
Cousins, man.
He ran. You know what he did, John? He ran a
circus route, didn't he?
Well, it was a bench adjustment. Yeah, so it was supposed to be a bench.
Did you just high low the corner?
He adjusted it because it was a press corner, and we adjust our benches to comebacks versus press. So I'm like, yeah, but it's a cloud. Anyways, so he adjusted to a comeback and then realized it wasn't press, it was a cloud corner, and then he said, well, I'm here now, I'm just going to sit in the hole. So had he known it was too deep, he should have run a bench.
It was a receiver. I didn't even know who
David
he was.
Sills. Yeah,
who was that guy?
He was our F.
Who?
His bestie.
I'm trying to think. He was our
David
Z
Sills,
that day,
the
so
vet.
we actually put the Z back side.
What was his name?
David Sills. He was at West Virginia. Was an All-American.
I don't know much about Sills.
Yeah, I think we had. I'm not remembering all the
Tell him the
specifics
story
here.
about David Sills in high school.
We ran a.
I don't remember.
So he was supposed to run a bench here, Coach. But
Yeah.
he ran the press adjustment, and then he realized it was too deep, and he just sat in the hole. And honestly,
He got to the same spot.
the corner busted it. The
Was
corner
somebody in the
shouldn't have.
flat?
Well, that was the problem. The corner was supposed to be.
Yeah, but didn't
sinking.
you have a receiver in the flat?
I mean, maybe the back, but
Yeah.
the back wasn't going to convert.
the
You know what I
back
mean?
was
The
just
back-
staying in the flat. He jumped the
Yeah.
back, didn't he?
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, might
That
have.
was
yeah.
unbelievable, Matt.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
4th and 14.
It was not even the right route. You're telling me?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at
Well,
the
I mean,
tape.
his
I'm like,
adjustment-
what did they
Maybe
run?
we
Like you said, he
Blast that.
got to the same spot, like you're saying, but yeah, it wasn't.
That was a hell of a win for you, wasn't it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
could
That was
tell
a
the
fun
look
one.
in
It
your
was
eye,
just
man.
fun. It was fun to
Right
like
before Christmas.
to battle. It was fun to battle and compete, and like it wasn't perfect, but like I just felt like I was in the fire again, and the wind was at our back a little bit, which made it fun. But that was
Were you
fun,
there
man. Under
or
the
watching?
lights.
Were you there? Do you go to games sometimes?
I was
Just
I was
playoffs?
watching that I went to 2 Buccaneer games this year, but for the Falcon game, I wasn't there at that one. I was watching it on TV.
Coach Bulls, though, the whole game you kind of live with this tension when you play him.
You know he's going to heat you up.
5 to his side, you're gonna get fooled. He's gonna bring it. Winfield's gonna come away from where you're thinking, and I got fooled once on a 2-point conversion. So like, there's some moments where you're like, you kind of live with this constant like, is this the play he's trying to win the game on?
Yeah. Have fun today, man. Stay
All
in
right.
touch.
Great
Yep.
seeing you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I didn't understand a lot of that, like but like just seeing him break everything down and like talk with John Gruden, because you know John Gruden. John Gruden loves his quarterbacks, right? And I like I said, like I really do believe that these two, Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza in the locker room is going to be crazy, and I can't wait. I honestly really can't wait to see that interaction between these two guys, especially after draft day when we finally get to see these two in the building. When we finally get to see these two out there during the offseason programs, at training camp, mini camp, and whatnot. Like I said, man, like it's a good day to be a Raider. Honestly, it's a good day to be a Raider fan. It's a good year to be a Raider fan. And looking at what we had last year with AOC and Geno Smith to this year, having Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins in the building. Hey, I don't know how you cannot be happy. Lance Green, we need Malachi. Malachi wouldn't be bad too. That's big body receiver right there. Shout out to Clarence though for the $2 holla. Says, how are we feeling about this deal? I heard 5 years. Oh, see, you heard 5 years, but it basically is a 1-year deal, a really cheap deal, and nothing else is really guaranteed for Kirk Cousins outside of that $10 million signing bonus that would hit in 2027. So this is a win-win move for the Raiders. Like really, like if you really look at what the Raiders gave them, like I said, it's a good move for the Raiders, and it gives the Raiders. It gives the Raiders a veteran quarterback for 1 year, basically. And depending on what the team wants to do moving forward, that's totally up to them, and nothing else is guaranteed. So, like I said, this is a win, and that's why we got to give a huge props to John Spytek and these boys, because, man, they're putting everything in place, and bringing in a caliber like Kirk Cousins is huge. And another thing is, Kirk Cousins chose to come over here. He didn't have to come to the Raiders. So, of course, he talked to John Spytek and Clint Kubiak, Andrew Janoko, and he had to buy into what the Raiders were selling, especially knowing that the Raiders are going to 100% or 99.9% are going to draft Fernando Mendoza. So he knows that. When he signed with the Falcons, nobody thought that the Falcons were going to draft Michael Penix that year. So that caught him off guard, and I know that changed a lot of things, but Kirk Cousins coming over here, we know that Fernando Mendoza is on his way. So I think he's looking at it like, you know what, I could be the guy for right now and mentor a really great quarterback on his way up. But I look at the situation, honestly, I still have a good, I feel like 60%, 60-40 that Fernando Mendoza could start still year one. We've been hearing a lot of the preparation that Fernando Mendoza has been having, but to see them go back and forth, this could remind me of the year the Raiders got Matt Schaub. You remember we brought in Matt Schaub and then we had Derek Carr. Derek Carr outplayed Matt Schaub in the offseason. The same could be said when Matt Flynn signed with the Seahawks years ago, and then Russell Wilson was drafted, outplayed Matt Flynn, who they were looking at as a starter. So I think the Raiders bringing in Kirk Cousins is definitely going to bring the best out of Fernando Mendoza, especially because, Clint Kubiak, especially since Kirk Cousins has played under Clint Kubiak, and he understands the offensive scheme under Clint Kubiak. So if there's anybody that can teach or at least mentor Fernando Mendoza, Kirk Cousins is the perfect guy, and that's why a lot of people has been wanting him in the building. Now, I think a lot of people are shout out to Malachi Fields or Jacoby Lane would be a good option for the Raiders. Like I said, we don't have to draft a wide receiver in round 2. If there's somebody that they love, then you could get somebody. But I think round 2 is just as important as round 1. You got to get a cornerstone, whether it's offensively, defensively. That's why I always go defensive line or the offensive line, because those are 2 really important positions for this team. But if there's a wide receiver there that they believe in, by all means, go get your guy. Go get your guy, man. Some more Raider knows. Big Fawn says, some of y'all have rocks for brains, just saying shit without knowing anything. This is good move by the team. Okay, I think I thought you were talking about me, Hughes. But I know you're probably talking about the people that are thinking that they're overpaying for this. Now, I know somebody brought up Tyreek Hill, right? And somebody said maybe we trade back. There's no world where the Raiders trade back at all. I don't see the Raiders trading back the first round pick, because Fernando's going to be the guy. And they don't sign Kirk Cousins without knowing that Fernando is going to be the guy. And I understand the notion with people saying, maybe wait a year, maybe wait for next year's draft, go 1 year with with Kirk Cousins. No. Everything is going into perspective. Everything is coming together perfectly. The way they've been planning the offseason is the way Raider Nation wanted to see happen. And I think it's coming together perfectly, like I said. And the Raiders are going to make the right moves. And I trust it. And I definitely trust it. Somebody brought up Tyreek Hill. No, I don't want Tyreek Hill. If he were to sign with the Raiders, okay. But I highly doubt that the Raiders would even go in that direction. Now, I know with the domestic abuse situation, and the Raiders and it's like an unspoken rule, right? Like the whole Freddie B thing, and the Raiders stay far away because we know Mark Davis, he respects his legends and stuff like that, so he stays away from all those stuff, and that's one main reason why the Raiders kind of stayed away from the Jalen Carter thing, because it was not too long after the Henry Ruggs situation. So I don't know, but there's definitely other options out there, and I wanted to ask you guys about this option right here. My boy Graf posted it. I don't agree with it, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts, though. We talk about veteran wide receivers, right? Who better than somebody that has played with Kirk Cousins himself? Hey, I'm not saying that we need to get him. I just wanted to ask you guys. I just wanted to see what you guys would say. Stephon Diggs, coming off of a Super Bowl run. Now, I understand, for me, honestly, I say no. Hell no. But, hey, you never know. I think all the off-the-field issues are crazy. I think on the field, of course, I don't think that he would be bad. But, I'm opposed. I'm opposed to it, though. I wouldn't want it, though. Shout out to Eddie. I see you. Aloha. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Alex says that AOC is gone next season. We will not give him a contract. I don't think we will. But if the Raiders do believe that he could be somebody that could be a clip holder for this team, okay. Uso, would you trade Max for Pickens and the 16th overall? No, hell no. Curtis, no. We're not talking. We're not talking no trades on Max Crosby, dog. Max Crosby staying a Raider this year. Come on now. No. Fernando starting week 1. I could see where Fernando starts week 1. That's the thing with me. Like I could see that happening, even with Kirk Cousins. We got a hell no. I'm good on Diggs. No way we give Aiden a 5th-year option. No. Didn't Naylor play with Cousins? Oh yeah, yay, Luis. I think you bring up a good point. I think he did. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. No way. We don't need any of that off the field issues. Nope. Hard pass. Yeah. Like the thing is, I agree with you guys. I just thought I'd bring it up. I thought it'd be funny to bring up though. But hey, we need a good free safety. We still have Jeremy Chase. No, Ghostface. No, we don't. We have Isaiah Polamau. Everybody says we need a free safety. No, we don't. No, we. I don't think we do because I think we need depth. That's one thing for sure. We need depth over here. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we get okay. Shout out to the Pat McAfee show. I wanted to let's hear what Adam Schefter had to say on the Pat McAfee show. He said basically that he could see Kirk Cousins being the starter on opening day. Okay, here we go.
How long do we know this was going to be happening for?
Well, it had been talked about that he could wind up there, and him and Clint Kubiak worked together for 3 years in Minnesota. They were together there, and obviously the Raiders prioritized it because they're paying the guy a $10 million roster bonus that's guaranteed on the 3rd day of the league year in 2027. They're going to pay him another $1.3 million this year, the veteran minimum, and the Falcons are paying $8.7. So it gets him up to $20 million this year.
Oh, yeah. See, look at we're paying him 1.3. Did I say 8.7 earlier? I know it's 8.7, but that's coming from the Atlanta Falcons. And the 1.3 is coming from the Raiders, which you're basically paying damn near nothing this year for him. Great job.
Being paid $20 million, that tells you the team wants you, and the Raiders did want him. And I think he's got a realistic chance to be the opening day starter. That's what the Raiders were looking for. They're looking for somebody to take the pressure off Fernando Mendoza, that they don't have to rush him along, that they can take their time, whether he's ready in week 1, 4.
Okay, hold on. I don't know why they put it. I don't know what. Hold up, because I ain't trying to get hit with that copyright. Mr. Adam Schefter. Okay, there we go. Much better. I ain't trying to get hit with that copyright.
16, whenever. They've got Kirk Cousins to man the fort until Mendoza's ready. And by getting this deal done, again, Kirk knows the system that Clint Kubiak has. Clint knows Kirk very well. 2 men join forces, and he's the favorite to start on opening day now.
Yeah, mentality is all seemingly aligned with this group. Coach Kubiak, obviously fresh out of a Super Bowl championship with Sam Darnold. No stranger to veteran quarterbacks kind of having a second chance at life, especially with Kirk there in Minnesota. Here's him talking about successful rookie quarterbacks in his eyes from the league meetings.
Yeah, well, I think in a perfect world that he's watching a mature adult, go and run an offense and run the team. But the situation is you might have that player, you might not. You might not have that veteran to show him the way. So he might come in and have to play immediately. But you'd rather him learn before he gets in the game. You don't always get to pick. It just doesn't work out the exact way you want it to. But
well, good thing for the Raiders, it worked out perfectly the way they wanted it to, because they got a veteran quarterback that could start out the gate, though.
At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're bringing in an individual, drafting a guy that is mature enough to handle some adversity, whether it's him starting the first game or him starting the first game year 2.
And I gotta respect it though. Like I said, this is the same notion that they've had like all season long on bringing in a veteran quarterback, and it made so much sense to bring in Kirk Cousins. And great, kudos to the Raiders. Definitely kudos to the Raiders for making it happen. And I'm more than excited to see this locker room, this quarterback room with Fernando Mendoza and with Kirk Cousins as well, man. And I know Raider fans are excited as well because hey, we got our guy. I just want a good strong safety. We got Lonnie Johnson Jr. We just let go of Lonnie Johnson Jr. Yeah, we did. Let's see. Cousin and Naylor played for 2 seasons together. Naylor caught his first touchdown, a 47-yard touchdown against Green Bay. Yo, that's huge, Juice. Yeah, Kirk Cousins may play 2 to 5 games as we see if the. Hey, like I said, like I'm okay. I'm okay with starting Fernando Mendoza. I'm okay with starting Kirk Cousins. And he's just got to prove it. Like, right. Like if he doesn't show that he can start right. Like if he struggles during the season, then we have our backup plan in Fernando Mendoza. But just to have somebody like what's his name? Like Kirk Cousins in the building, it helps the quarterback room that much. And it takes the pressure off of the Raiders starting Fernando Mendoza and killing his confidence right out the gate. But see, the thing with Fernando Mendoza is the way he's been looking in the offseason, the way he's been looking throughout the college football playoffs, man, the poise is the hugest thing for me. His poise is huge. And I think that he'd be ready to go week 1. But if not, then I'm okay with that. Let's see. This Kirk Cousins right here. This is going to be Kirk Cousins when he leads us to the playoffs. Come on now. Kirk Cousins leading us to, look. Kirk Cousins right here leading us to the playoffs right there, baby. Yes, sir. Hey, Kirk O'Chain's returning to Las Vegas, bro. Hey, Kirk O'Chain, number 8 or number 18? Oh, he gonna be number 8. I don't think there's a number 8 on the roster right now because I think Jack Besh has number 18 right now. So I think that he's gonna be rocking number 8. We'll see. Yeah, because Daniel Carlson's not on the roster no more. Yeah, Daniel Carlson's not on the roster, so yeah, we'll see him at number 8. Quiddy is gonna go underrated. Oh, Quiddy is going to be an underrated signing. Playing with Max is gonna help him tremendously. I do think I agree with you on that too. I agree with you. Greetings and salutations from Free Thinker. What's good, Oos? Cheeto, Diggs don't fit the kind of player that Kubiak and Spy looking to bring in. Yeah, I agree with you. I threw it out there just to see. Honestly, I threw it out there just to see what you guys thought, man. But, you know, what? Let's see. Now, one thing that I want to do with you guys before we get out of here, Cheeto says, Joe. I don't know where Joe is. Joe is MIA right now. I hit him up and want to see what he wanted. Let me hit him up. I think he's sleeping. Let's see if Joe's sleeping. I try to hit him up I want to get his 2 cents on this whole thing. Let's see. See if the Oos picks up. And man, he probably busy because usually he texts me back, but he does. Oh, what up, Oos? My bad, Oos. You in a meeting? Oh shit. No, I didn't know if you see my text. The chat was asking for you. No, but you're good. You don't have to come on if because I could end it soon. No, I've been on for like 30 minutes. Okay, if you want to. No pressure. All right. Okay. Well, I just called the big Oos, honorary Oos, and he's gonna come in. I don't know what the hell he was doing this morning, but he gonna come in and get. We could get his 2 cents as well. And no one matter than Big Max Crosby. Yeah. Carlson is still on the roster at the moment. No, he's not. No. Is Carlson on the roster? See, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't think I don't know if he's I don't think he's on the roster because the Raiders signed Matt Gay, but I don't know. You gonna hit him with that? I was just about to say you gonna get hit with the copyright. Oh, you talking about during the Pat McAfee show? Yeah, Oos, like I'm okay showing the stuff, but when they show the highlights and stuff like that, I always get hit with the copyright. And I wasn't gonna risk it though. I wasn't gonna risk it for the biscuit though. Joe sleeping with the Yoshi cap on. Hey, he over there. Yeah, he had a crazy night yesterday, or was it the day before with the? I don't know what it was, but I know he was at the Dodger game. How many Dodger fans up in here? Because I know there's a lot of Raider fans that are Dodger fans as well, but you know, I don't have a baseball team. I honestly think baseball's kind of boring, though, but I might honestly root for the A's when they come out here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the breakdown of the. Let's show it.
the salary cap lifted $20 million this year. Remember? It was way over what projections were. I wonder what it's going to be next year. The $10 million that the Raiders are putting into next year, they're like $10 million. We can get rid of $10 million. Broncos got rid of 80.
Yeah.
Dolphins are about to get rid of 100. $10 million that we just packaged next year. We can kind of get rid of that. Who knows what the salary cap's going to go up and to the right for?
Rookie QB contract, too. Like, they'll have Mendoza for these next 5 years with the option, so it gives you that flexibility.
That was a genius deal by them. I really like that they were able to tell Kirk he's going to get $20 million, but really we're only paying you $1.3 million league min. That's a brilliant deal.
And hey, that goes back to John Spytek cooking up this offseason, man. Like the way he's been drawing up contracts, and this contract right here with Kirk Cousins, outside looking in, looks like a great contract, right? It looks like the Raiders are paying him a lot of money, and that's how I felt. Honestly, when I first seen that the numbers fly, I was like, damn, the Raiders are giving him 5 years, 172 or somewhere around that notion. But then I seen a lot of people breaking it down, and I was like, oh, okay. So we basically pay him nothing. So I mean, because that the Falcons are still paying him a certain amount, so I don't think it's bad at all. Max says, "Are you coming out to the Bay Area when the Raiders play the Niners?" Hey, if the Raiders and the Niners game are going to be in Santa Clara, I will be there. I think this is a road game that I definitely want to go to. And the way game that I would love to go to is Raiders, Niners, and the Bay. I've never been to the Bay. I never got to go to Oakland, which sucks, but I would love to go there and just party it up one time with the Bay Area fans out there. So that'd be kind of huge for me. I'll be there, and depending on where the Raiders play, if we play internationally, because some people behind the scenes, say, hey, get ready for that international game, then I might be open to going there. But it depends on where we go. If we go to Paris, then I'm down for that too. I definitely be down for that. But if it's like somewhere weak, then okay, I'm cool. Spytek GM of the year. Hey, the way it's been going right now, Snoops, I agree with you. Oakland was dope in the 2000s when I lived there. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, seeing everything, seeing all the highlights, all the memories, man, it was definitely a vibe. I know that the stadium was nowhere near Allegiant Stadium, but just seeing the vibe at O.co, man, and me, I was a kid. Like I said, I tell everybody this, like I wasn't able to go because I was still a kid in high school, middle school during that time. And the time that I finally got money and was able to afford to at least try to go to one game, they were in the process of moving to Vegas. So, hey, it is what it is. That's why I want to go there this year so bad. I'm a fan of all the Bay Area teams except for the 49ers. And rightfully so. Hey, that's Kirk Thuggins. Raider Deb says, I was like 7 minutes away from that janky-ass Levi piece of shit. Hey, that's perfect for you, right? You get if you were to come to a Raider game, then it'd be perfect for you. Let me see. Oh, let me see. We got a special guest. All right. Before I bring on, before we get on and bring on the big goose, Joe Moley, to get his 2 cents on the whole situation, right? I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's live stream, which is PrizePicks. This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. No matter what sport you're watching, there's no better way to make the action more exciting than PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made simple. You just pick more or less on your favorite player projections and build lineups in a few taps. PrizePicks gives you a fun way to stay locked in on every play while you're watching. You can play PrizePicks in over 40 states, including California, Texas, and Florida. And the good thing is that they're hooking you up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup when you use my code HMA. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Yo! What's good to the Oos, Joe Moley, man? He is awake, guys. He's alive and well. We got the big Oos, and hey, I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but the day after Fernando Mendoza's pro day, we got our veteran quarterback. We got our mentor. We got our QB1, at least for right now. Hey, Kirk Cousins, man. What's your instant reaction after that news, Zeus?
Well, this just means they liked what they saw yesterday at the pro day, right? That means when they went to Fernando Mendoza's pro day, they were like, "This is our guy. Let's go get the guy who's going to mentor him and go ahead with it." But I'm just trying to look at this contract, and I'm like, what the hell is it? But I guess it had to be done this way. I don't know because of what. So the Raiders are giving him 5 years, 172, but really just 1 year, 20 million.
Yeah, but the 20 million is not like it's broken down though. I think the Raiders are giving 1.3 and the Falcons are giving 8.7, and then that $10 million roster bonus hits on the third day of the 2027 new league year. So the Raiders are basically paying a 1.3.
Which remember when we were talking about the Kirk Cousins and all that, and I said that he'll probably go for 1.3 million because of how much Atlanta's paying him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's exactly. It says Raiders gave him a $10 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
As well. It's funny. This is the NFL's funny when they come to contracts like this, but it's
Oh, you good, Joe? Joe. Okay. Oh damn, okay. Joe's back. Okay.
This is what happens when I try to. Yeah. This is who we want. This is where I got that. Dude, I just barely woke up. Like I was up till like 3:00 in the morning.
Doing stuff. I was like so worried because I woke up at 8, and I don't ever wake up at 8. I always try to wake up at 6 or 7, 6, 7, right? But I woke up at 8:30 because I was like, I'm gonna sleep in today. I don't care to get up. And then I seen the news. I was like, oh, and they got the deal done like at 6 in the morning our time. I was like, damn. So I was like, okay, Joe's probably up. Joe's probably like on top of it right now. And I that's why I texted you, and you never texted me back. And then when I texted you, I was gonna go live. I was like, you still didn't text me back. I was like, is Joe okay? Because he's always up in the mornings. So what, you just woke up? Like, did I call you and wake you up? Or no?
Yeah. No, well, I don't have my. I just happened to just wake up and see your phone because I don't have any notifications. I don't even have my. I won't even hear it.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So everything's coming out to you right now. Yeah. So oh, hey, I broke the news to Joe then, I guess. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if you've seen everything, but
I saw your text, and then I had a text from Cheeto that said it.
I know Cheeto's the one that asked for you. He said, "No, Joe today." I was like, let me call Joe. Let me see what Joe's up to, because I'm like, we want to know how you feel about it. But I talked about it to the chat, and I've been saying like, what the fuck? Get focused, bro. Yeah, so I've been talking to the chat, and like I broke it. I had to go look it up because initially when I seen the number, right, the number looked crazy to me, like 5 year, 172. I was like, damn, with guaranteed money. Now I will give props to Kirk Cousins' agent. My boy is a generational run, bro. Generational run. Like I think I noted it here. This is the 11th straight season where Kirk Cousins' contract will be fully guaranteed. So I mean, but the thing is, the Raiders are only like he's only on the books for the Raiders for 1 year, basically this season. The next 2 years, the Raiders can move on from him. Like the shout out to my boy. I think somebody posted this, so I'm reading it off because this is how he broke it down. Ideally, it's a 1 year, $11.3 million. 20 mil is coming from Atlanta though. And 8.7 due third day league year in 2027 with 2 years, $80 million after that. It's essentially a deal set for the Raiders to have Kirk Cousins in 2026 and only 2026. If he's tradable after the year when he's moved to a team with if he's tradable after the year, he's moved to a team with a decent starting contract. If not, he's released with limited dead money as none of the 2 years, $80 million is guaranteed. Atlanta is still paying Cousins $26-27 million of his cap hit with Las Vegas near the vet minimum. Cousins will make $20 million in 2026, but Las Vegas is paying 1.3 of that additional money offset the 2027 and beyond void years. It's phenomenal cap space for the Raiders. Yeah, I struggled through that whole thing. What was that? I can't. Oh, I can barely see his blur, but is he holding a bag of what is that?
Just money everywhere. Money everywhere.
Everybody got money. It was money.
I mean, he is 37 years old, so he's kind of older. He's I don't know what he's expecting. Like, and I think I think this also means that maybe he got word that Aaron Rodgers is going back to Pittsburgh because that was another
destination that he was thinking. Yeah.
because Kurt wanted to start. He wants to play a little bit longer. You know, his career is not that long, but everything about this signing is very good for us to go along with where he's been with Clint Kubiak. You know, when he was the quarterback coach and offense coordinator in Minnesota with them, so he knows the system pretty damn well. So think about it. Fernando Mendoza is already working with Brian Greasy, right? He's already learning the terminology, and then he's going to come into camp and he's going to have Kirk Cousins, who's also been here and done everything with them and knows the system and can teach him everything. So that's going to be a very good quarterback room. And I don't know, what does this do for Aiden O'Connell? Are they going to keep him, or they want Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
I don't know, because every team is different. So some coaches like to carry 3 quarterbacks, some carry 2. There might be something right here with Aiden O'Connell, but this is a very good move for the Raiders. This is a very good move.
Great move.
We've talked about all offseason because we talked about they were going to bring a veteran in, and was it going to be Joe Flacco, who ended up going back to Cincinnati, Kirk Cousins, or everybody's darling Derek Carr, and we knew that one was probably out of the possibility. Even though your boy posted yesterday he was coming home.
And some people believe it. Some people believe it. But you hit it on the nail. It's like all offseason, like I had this same feeling all offseason long. It was, and I think you can attest to it, right? Like there's names that everybody wants. Everybody is gun ho on a certain name. They want that guy. And I always think it's out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but I always feel like, no, the Raiders aren't going to get him. The Raiders aren't going to get Clint Kubiak. So let's settle for so-and-so. The Raiders aren't going to get the number 1 overall pick, but we do. Oh, the Raiders are not going to get Kirk Cousins. We'll probably get somebody else. But the fact that they've been making moves, I didn't think that they were going to get Tyler Linderbaum. Like the Raiders have been getting players, coaches that the Raider Nation wants, and they're doing it right. And John Spytek in his second year as a GM, like I said, is cooking. And the way they're going about this offseason, getting ready, preparing for Fernando Mendoza, I give them an A+. Like from free agency to the coaching hires, and I'm pretty sure going into the NFL draft is going to be A1. And just bringing in Kirk Cousins, man, is going to be huge. And look this is what people say. This is going to be Kirk Cousins, Zeus, after 1 year in Vegas, Zeus. So I could see this happening, Zeus, right? We're gonna have Kirk Cousins out here just smoking and just having a good time. Hey, he gonna be chilling, man. We gonna have a lot of games where we chilling like this, man. This Kirk Cousins, man. But hey,
you make that or you found that?
Nah, I got on Twitter. I was like, I said I gotta post this one because this one's hilarious, bro. Like, I don't know, Max Crosby, Kirk Cousins, man, damn near twins though. But like just seeing like what they've been able to, and one thing that's crazy, somebody brought this up too. The Raiders had dinner with Fernando Mendoza last night, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that they talked to him about this, and he was more than open to work with Kirk Cousins. And we talked about it. You even brought it up before. Fernando Mendoza is either Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, or he's Joe Burrow, Andrew Luck, right? but like his comparison has always been Kirk Cousins. Everybody's always said that. And what better way to bring in Kirk Cousins that already knows the system that could teach Fernando, even though Fernando's already preparing right now with Brian Greasy. We got the perfect guy here. So like, I'm excited to see what we can do with him.
And you're not teaching, he's not coming in to teach Fernando how to play the game. He's teaching him how to be a pro, how to do the everyday activities that an NFL quarterback needs to go through, how to become that professional guy. Cause that's the next step up, how to be that franchise guy. That's the biggest thing. But this is awesome. Like I think we should have signed Kirk Cousins 2 years ago when Atlanta signed him. It just didn't go the way that we wanted. You know, that was the year that we signed Gardner Minshew, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I think we're 2 years late on Kirk Cousins, but I'll take it.
But what better way though? Like I think this is the perfect situation to sign somebody like Kirk Cousins when we're gonna have the future quarterback come in. Now I agree with you. I think the Raiders should have did that. And one thing that I was thinking about is Kirk chose to come to Las Vegas. He didn't have to come to Las Vegas, but he chose to come to Las Vegas knowing that Fernando was on his way. Now, when he signed with the Falcons, I don't think anybody knew. I don't think he even knew that they were going to draft Michael Penix. So that kind of caught him off guard because like, oh, I thought I was going to be the guy. Like, why are you guys drafting somebody that high when he could go and get another position or solidify another position? And I think that caught him off guard because that wasn't agreed upon when he signed with Atlanta. So him coming over here, he knows. Like, I think he knows. I know he talked with the Raiders, and I'm pretty sure John Spytek and them boys, they were straight up with him. They said that, Fernando Mendoza is going to be the future for this team. And I think it's a challenge that, I think Kirk Cousins is definitely open to, right? Bringing in Fernando Mendoza and just having him under him and be a mentor. And like you said, he's not going to teach Fernando Mendoza how to play football, but he can teach him some things about the offense, about the NFL, it makes me more excited. And like we got to see his pro day yesterday, and I love hearing Fernando talk yesterday. Like he just already sounds like a leader, and he sounds like somebody that's already mature with the way he looks at the NFL. And we've talked about it yesterday. Like Fernando said that he doesn't want to be the best quarterback in April, but he wants to be the best quarterback in September. And if he is the best quarterback in September, then he's starting. I think that he's going to be starting. And I don't think that signing Kirk Cousins means wholeheartedly that the Raiders are not going to start Fernando Mendoza. It will be a battle, and it's up to Fernando Mendoza to show that he's ready to go. And I think it's going to be a quarterback battle that I'm excited about. And it's a win-win situation for the Raiders. If he's not ready to go, then you don't play him. If he's ready to go, then you play him. So it's as simple as that for me.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, you like that.
But this is the only offense that Kirk Cousins had basically ran his whole career, right? This with Washington, and that's another team. It was yesterday. I saw it was between the Rams and the Raiders that were going after Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Sean McVay was trying to reunite with them. Remember, Kirk Cousins started in Washington, offensive coordinator. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, all of them were over there. Went to Minnesota, and then that's where he was with Kubiak and all that. Even in Atlanta last year, it was a Sean McVay offense because is it Robinson was his offensive coordinator? I want to say that was his name, and that's a spawn off of the McVay tree right there. So he's ran this offense his whole career. So 11, all this. I don't know what's his career now. 15 years now, 16 years.
Oh, for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
it's got to be up there. Yeah, it's definitely got to be up there.
And this is the second time that he's been with a number one quarterback, right? Because he was drafted with RG3.
Yeah,
the same draft. So he went 4th round. RG3 went number 2 overall.
Yeah, number 2 overall. Yep.
So this is the second time, and this is also he's also the reason that we were talking about. Sometimes the Raiders should draft 2 quarterbacks if they weren't going to bring another guy in like this, Fernando Mendoza, and maybe they still do. Maybe because the Raiders have. I don't know if people have been really paying attention. The Raiders have talked to a lot of secondary quarterbacks in this draft as well. So they might be thinking of a second quarterback as well in the draft. And
yeah,
this is what I like. Hey, John Spytek, he don't lie, right? When he cooks, he don't lie because he just told us a couple days ago, Monday. He said, "I'm going to get us a backup quarterback within the next couple weeks."
He did. He did. And I was like, okay, it could be by the end of this week or next week. But the fact that they went out and got their guy, bravo. And he's the guy that I think everybody wanted. So, like, I think that this quarterback room already is better than last year, right? You would say that, and that's saying, oh, boy's on his way over here. Fernando Mendoza's on his way over here. So,
this is better than last year. It's better than the year before.
It's been the best the Raiders have done since we moved on from Derek Carr. Like,
it could be better than the year before that, right? In 3 years, that's Jimmy G. And it could be better. It could be better than the end of the Derek Carr era.
End of the Derek Carr era? What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying it could be the end of the Derek Carr, like the last year of Derek Carr, right? This could be. It wasn't really good quarterback play. Jimmy G's here, the Gardner Minshew, and then the Geno Smith. Like those are all bad years. So it could be our best quarterback room in 4 years.
Bro, I think it is. I agree. No, yeah, Most definitely. Let me see. Oh, I didn't have that.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, I wanted to play this clip real quick. My bad. I was just trying to pull it up though, but let me see where we at. Where we at? Right there. Okay, here we go. And this comes just days after. Clint Kubiak spoke on it. In a perfect world, right? We'd have somebody that has experience starting over that rookie quarterback.
I think in a perfect world that he's watching a mature adult, go and run an offense and run the team. But the situation is you might have that player, you might not. You might not have that veteran to show him the way. So he might come in and have to play immediately. But you'd rather him learn before he gets in the game. You don't always get to pick. It just doesn't work out the exact way you want it to. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're bringing in an individual, drafting a guy that is mature enough to handle some adversity, whether it's him starting the first game or him starting the first game year 2.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we got the guy. We got a veteran quarterback that could start out the gate, and doesn't mean that we have to, but we bring in somebody that could compete with Fernando Mendoza and see where Fernando is at. Right, like I've said it before. Just because we get him doesn't mean that the Raiders are not going to start Fernando Mendoza, but we know that he's working. He's grinding right now, and he's learning that offense. And this could be a Matt Schaub, Derek Carr year. This could be Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson year, where everybody's expecting the veterans to start out the gate. But if he's not ready, but if Fernando catches up pretty quick, then I can see a world in which he starts week 1. But that just goes to show, and that's like I said earlier, it's a win-win, because if Fernando proves that he can start, then that just means that he was the better guy and he competed for it. He earned his spot, and it wasn't just given to him because he's the first overall pick. And Walt, I think I read it earlier. Walt brought up Kirk Cousins going to start for like 6 games, and then it's going to be Fernando. If it is, then okay. But I think Raider Jimmy Barbecue. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of competition and the offseason. And that's something that I think that we've been missing at the quarterback position for a long time. The only time we had a competition was AOC and Gardner Minshew. That was bad.
And that was a horrible competition.
That was bad. And they picked the wrong quarterback. And I love Gardner Minshew, but I think the way they went about it was horrible, because it should have been the other way around, where it should have been AOC, let's see what you got after a year of, fighting. And if you're not good, then Gardner Minshew, by all means, go in there and try to win it. But that was the only quarterback competition that is crazy. That's the only competition that we've had. Quarterback competition since Derek Carr matchup, I could say. Because after Derek Carr took over the reins, it's been the Derek Carr show since. And even when we brought in, what's his name, Marcus Mariota, it still wasn't competition at all. We knew that it was going to be Derek Carr. They were going to stick with him unless Derek Carr got injured. But now I'm excited for this quarterback competition between Fernando and Kirk Cousins. But yeah, I think,
and like you said, if Fernando deserves the job, give him the job. If Fernando seems like he's not ready, or Kurt is outplaying him, then Kurt gets it. But like you said, just because he's the number 1 overall pick doesn't mean that we have to give him the job. And just because he's the number 1 overall pick doesn't mean that you don't give him the job. Like,
exactly.
Let him go out there and earn it. And if he earns it, give him the job. And that, I think that will show a lot more, what would you say? A lot more, damn, I can't even think of a word right now. My brain is going crazy. It would show a lot more like faith in him, knowing that he beat out Kirk Cousins in the offseason, if that happens. So I think that would make us a little bit more excited going into the season. But I don't see how we can't be excited now that we have a quarterback. Even if Kirk Cousins is named our starting quarterback, this is a good day for Raider Nation, because we actually have somebody back there that is competent and not going to go out there and try to turn the ball over.
Okay, I'll do. They say your mic was cutting out a little, but you guys get the notion, though. You guys get the notion. But hey, I guess some news just came out. Mr. Mendoza is going to be visiting Las Vegas next Tuesday. He's going to be having his visit. I mean, this is already something that everybody's been talking about. He's going to be visiting the team, and hey, he's going to go visit his future job site. So it's going to be huge. And the thing is, like, we already kind of knew this because they stated that after the pro day they're gonna get a visit going. So after the pro day, getting to see what he was able to do is huge. They already had their meeting with him. They had their meeting with him at the scouting combine. They had the meeting with him at his pro day, and now that they're gonna bringing him over here to Las Vegas, man. Hopefully, Go Power Raider is out there with the sign for Fernando Mendoza. I'm gonna try to sneak my way into the facility with Fernando. I don't know, just hop the gate over there. But anywho, this is huge news for the Raiders, and The Raiders do it again, man. They make big moves for the offseason, and this is why I think this goes down as one of the greatest offseasons for the Raiders. But it's one thing to do great during the offseason and make moves, and then it's another thing to execute and do it during the season. But like I said, the Raiders are doing everything the right way, and I'm excited for the season. And I know we're going to be getting together for the NFL draft, so that's going to be another thing to look forward to as well. But shout out to my Joe Moley though on this Thursday morning that we got some breaking news. Kirk Cousins is coming to Las Vegas. We get our mentor quarterback. We get our veteran 1-year bridge quarterback or 2 years, depending on how many years that he's going to be over here. But we get our guy, and I definitely like that. I like that a lot. But shout out to my boy Joe. Top of the morning. Good thing that Joe is awake now, guys. So I know that we're going to be talking about it a lot more, but. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, man, go and follow my the Joe Moley. I'm pretty sure he's going to be dropping videos as well. I'll probably drop another video later tonight on this news. But shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody up in here. If you guys haven't already, man, hit that like button if you guys haven't already. But yeah, until the next one, we are out of here.